So, you all probably know there exists a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's merch. And by a lot, I mean a lot. And I certainly love Fnaf merch. It's just really fun to collect figures and plushes from my favorite franchise. So why don't we take a look at some of the Five Nights at Freddy's merchandise. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Sanshi has been the producer of Fnaf merch since 2015, so they've been around for a while now. Most people agree that Sanshi makes some damn good plushies, like Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, and the incredibly rare Fredbear, which was a limited time offer. And they recently started making more plushies like Glamrock Freddy, Glamrock Chica, Monty, and Roxy, which look really good and are very game accurate. They don't just make plushies though, they make some other Fnaf merch as well. Here's some of my favorites: the security badge, fast tokens, and the celebrate poster. And I love all this because it looks like they could be some in-universe items. But the Sanshi plushies are a little on the expensive side, but they look damn good though. Funko's a company you're probably familiar with. They're most known for making Funko Pops, but in 2016 they made Fnaf merch, and they've been the main producer of Fnaf merch for years. Funko makes Fnaf action figures, plushies, mystery minis, Funko Pops, and recently started making statues and snap figures. They've also made some other weird merch throughout the years. Now let's take a look at some of their merch, starting with the action figures. Their action figures have usually been pretty good, especially for the price, but sometimes they're really not the best. The action figures are usually really detailed, but sometimes they're just offensively bad. When it comes to the plushies, they've been pretty up and down. They started out really strong with wave 1, but then they got progressively worse with each wave. And they hit the lowest point with the Twisted Ones wave. But the Pizza Sim wave was pretty good though. And ever since that, they have been mostly decent. The mystery minis are pretty neat little figures. Most of them look pretty good. They are very detailed considering how small they are. But recently I haven't been loving them too much. The Funko Pops aren't too interesting. I don't really collect the Fnaf Funko Pops, I just think the action figures are better, so I don't bother buying the Funko Pops. The statues are very good, probably some of the best Fnaf merch out there. I unfortunately don't have any of them, since I didn't really collect Fnaf merch when the Glamrock Freddy and Vanny statues came out. I didn't really care for the Fox statue, and the Lefty statue I unfortunately wasn't able to buy since it sold out so fast. And they haven't restocked it yet, and I don't think they will, unfortunately. And finally, the Snaps. I don't really have much to say about them since I'm not the biggest fan of them. I do like the new Helpy figure though. So Funko's Fnaf merch is pretty mixed in quality, but the price is good though. And Funko needs to stop making their own OCs. They haven't even made the Withers and Toy animatronics yet. U2's entered the Fnaf merch scene pretty recently with their Fnaf One Way back in December 2021. And they have been pumping out new Fnaf merch like every 1 or 2 months it feels like. U2's makes figures, plushies, and pins. They have also made some other weird stuff. For their figures, they've been really great. I can only think of 3 figures that aren't that great. Monty, which has a weird face shape and doesn't have any pants. Golden Freddy, which looks good in the product image, but the figure itself is a different color, and I don't really like that yellow color. And Glitch Trap, which is a good enough figure, except for the eyes. It kind of just ruins it for me. For the plushies, they are also really good. They came out with their first Fnaf plushie in April 2022, which was the Vanny plushie, which I think is still their best plushie. And ever since that, they've been pumping out plushies left and right. Some really cool plushies they made are the shoulder riding ones. They've got magnets in their ass and come with a base that's got some metal in it. And you're supposed to put the base under your shirt on your shoulder and put the plushie on your shoulder so that it can ride you. And they made some pins too, which I don't really care about. I think U2's Fnaf merch is really good, it's just a bit expensive. And they haven't made any Funtime Freddy merch yet, which makes me very sad. It's kind of ironic that they're called good stuff, since they don't really make that good stuff. Just look at this Funtime Freddy plush. It's hideous! but something about it is just beautiful. And I have a goal to get my hands on this Funtime Freddy plush one day. They also have many other bad plushies. They also made these hideous creatures. But somehow, they've managed to make some good plushies recently. These security breach plushies actually look pretty good. I think Good Stuff's plushies are mostly terrible, but there's a certain charm about some of their plushies. And why don't we end this video off with a bang and talk about Hex. Hex released their first Fnaf plushie in February 2022, so they hit the scene pretty recently. And if you don't know what Hex is, it's a company founded by Dako, who you probably know, and they make comics, plushies, and some other stuff. And I gotta say, I think they make the best Fnaf plushies out there. I really like the look of them, and the button eyes are great. My personal favorite is Spring Bonnie. I haven't gotten him yet, but I will one day. I can't really think of any bad plushies they made. There's two I can think of that are just okay, Mangle and Wither Bonnie. But I get that those two are very hard to design, especially Mangle. So I'd say Hex makes amazing merch. It's just a bit expensive. But I'm glad they made the sitting plushies for a cheaper price since I didn't really care about the removable limbs. So overall, Fnaf merch has been pretty mixed throughout the years, but it's starting becoming really good in recent years. And there's so much Fnaf merch I haven't covered. So if you want to see me cover some more Fnaf merch, let me know in the comments below. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye!